Veterans, if you're stuck at 70, 80, or even 90%, let me save you years of frustration. It's not luck, it's not hate, it's a checklist. Every VA Rating Veteran Service Representative, the RVSR, we call raters, is trained to check 5 specific things before approving or denying your claims. 5, that's it. If you miss even one, you risk denial. Nail all 5 of them, and you give yourself the best shot at hitting that 100% P&T. If you're new here, my name is Reuben Geimah. I'm the CEO of VA Claims Made Easy. I'm a combat veteran that has been through the same process that you're going through, and now I use my experience to help you get through it faster because I know what it feels like when you're stuck, lost, confused, trying to traverse the complexity of the VA system. The smartest people on this planet are people who learn from other people's mistakes, not from theirs. I will prevent that, and you will prevent that by watching this video. Let's get into it. When I got denied, that was the moment I realized I wasn't in uniform anymore, but I was still in the battle. The new battlefield, paperwork, bureaucracy, and a system that was confusing veterans into giving up. And it's rightfully so. Honestly, guys, the VA has a lot of benefits, but it gets misused, misrepresented. So they set up all these systems, these checks and balances to gatekeep and protect those resources. But we all know you're not that individual. We all know you deserve every single claim that you've put in because you experienced it. So I'm gonna be giving you guys the blueprint on how to go in there, not emotional, but strategic, and what these VA raters are actually trained to look for when they're rating your claim. This is the exact blueprint that VA doesn't hand you, but I will. The VA system runs on laws, regulations, and checklists. The playbook is written in 30 CFR Part 4, the schedule for rating disabilities. Every percentage, every condition, every symptom is tied directly to it. But here's the problem. Nobody explains it to you. They hand you form like VA Form 21526EZ and expect you to figure it out on your own. Most vets don't. They file blind, they hope, and then they get denied. That's why so many veterans are stuck at 70, 80, or sometimes even 90%. That's literally $1,500, $2,000 a month missing from their checks. If you do the math, that's like $240,000 lost in 1 decade, just 10 years, and they're losing $240,000. I built this channel to change all of that, to give you clarity I wish I had when I came home and was going through the process. And today I'm breaking down the 5 things VA raters always check before they hit approve or deny. If you master these 5 steps, you stop playing defense and you take your claims and go on the offense. And we all know offense win the game, baby. Let's get real. Why do veterans lose? Because of myths. Myth number 1, the VA already know my record. Wrong. The VA does not know unless you show them. Even if you serve 20, 30, 40 plus years with multiple injuries, unless you connect the dot with evidence, your raters won't. That's not their job. They're not there for you. They don't work for you. They work for the VA. They work for the system. Myth number 2, pain is enough. Wrong. Pain alone is not readable. But under 30th CFR 4.59, pain motion must be recognized with at least the minimum compensatable rating. That means if you can prove pain with functional loss, you can win a rating, but it must be documented. Myth number 3, if I file again, I'll lose what I've already have. Completely wrong. Properly filed claims can only add. Reductions require substantial negative evidence and due process. Filing again doesn't magically lower your ratings. there have to be concrete evidence of improvement. These lies cost veterans hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetime. I've seen it firsthand. A buddy of mine had migraines for his deployment. He thought they already know. He filed nothing. Years later, me and him are talking. He's telling me how he's struggling and he's stuck at 70%. And I'm asking him like, bro, we were both on the same deployment and I know what you went through. I know what I went through. Why are you stuck at 70%? When he finally submitted the evidence that he needed, a diagnosis, a Nexus Letters, proof of severity, he literally went from 70% to 100%. That's missing decades, over $200,000 gone over a decade time period. When he was already supposed to be at 100%. We both went on the same deployment. The truth here is the VA rater doesn't decide based on your symptoms. They decide based on their checklist. And if you know these checklists, you can hand them exactly what they need to give you that 100%. So what are these 5 things that the raters always check? Each one is a box on the rater's mental checklist. I'll break them down into plain language, what it means, what the law says, what evidence counts, and how you can win. Number 5, service connections. What it means. You must prove your condition is connected to your service. No connections equals no claims. The law under 38th CFR 3.303, service connections requires 1, a current disability, 2, evidence of an in-service disease, injuries, or event. 3, a Nexus letter linking the 2. Cut and dry. That's it, guys. So what the rater is looking for is service treatment records, STRs, DD-214 for MOS and deployments, lay evidence under 30th CFR 3.159, credible lay statements from buddies, and valid evidence. This could be a buddy statements from your spouse, friend, neighbors. All of those help convey that service connections. For example, for PTSD, documented stressors from your deployments plus buddy statements. For knee injuries, STRs from a ruck march, your DD-214 showing infantry MOS, so on and so forth. Hearing loss, MOS with noise exposures, artillery, combat engineers like myself, aircraft crewmen, mechanics, all of those correlates. How you prove it is, don't write bad knees from Army. Please don't do that. That's too vague. What you want to write is, in 2008, during a ruck march at Fort Hood, I twisted my right knee, was treated at the TMC, and placed on profile. The pain has been persistent ever since. Simple as that, guys. You can use the VA Form 214138 for your statement, or VA Form 21-10210 for your buddy statement. Guess what? The VA Claims Made Easy app generates all of those for you. You simply print them out, hand them to your buddies, your spouse, whoever. They fill it out, scan them back into the app, and it organizes and build your package for you. Simple as that. No stress, guys. We got you covered. The link is in the description. So, true story. I used to be airborne. This means I was jumping out of a lot of planes. And one of the actual problems that I faced, what expedited my career to me actually retiring, was a failed jump that went bad. And I ended up falling from a tree, injuring my back severely, and I had to be medically retired prematurely. And I never understand pain until that situation. And mind you, I came into the Army at tip top tier, man. Like I'm saying, I was running my 2 miles in 12 minutes. I was doing my 12 milers in under 2 hours. Like I was the epitome of health, fit, go-getter, leader, everything, right? But due to this injury, which was no fault to me, everything changed. And I couldn't perform like I used to. Standing and sitting for too long was excruciating. Even with all of that being documented, if I still had not convey it properly with the right verbiage and have concrete evidence, I wouldn't have been able to get to 100% PNT. That level of details made it undeniable, but I only learned that the second time. The first time, when my language was vague, it wasn't clear, I got denied, right? And they had all of those evidence. So, pro tip here, guys, be specific when you're explaining what's happening, because the more specific you are, that literally equates to the more credible you become. General equals forgettable. If you want to get that 100% PNT, you need to be specific. So for veterans that understand this, I have a question for you. Have you ever submitted a buddy statement? Did it help your claim or hurt your claim? Leave in the comment section below. You don't know who it could help. Number 4, current diagnosis. What it means is the VA cannot rate pain or symptoms alone. You need a current documented diagnosis. The law is 38 CFR 4.1. Ratings are based on the current level of disability. No diagnosis equals no rating. So what the rater is looking for is VA medical records, private physician reports, specialist evaluations, orthopedists, neurologists, you get it. For example, sleep apnea, you need a sleep study confirming obstructive sleep apnea and a CPAP prescription. For migraines, you need a neurologist diagnosis with frequent and duration documented. For PTSD, you need physical evaluation, a DSM-5 diagnosis. For diabetes, you need a lab results, ongoing medications, so on and so forth. So how do you prove it? Well, if you haven't seen a doctor in the most recent years, the rater is going to assume you're fine. Even if you've been hurt in 2009, if it's not documented, it doesn't exist. Get a new diagnosis, go get the doctor. And guess what? The app, VA Clinically Easy, helps you with that and connects you. So what are the do's and don'ts? Example, don't, my knee hurts every single day. Do, veteran diagnosed with degenerative arthritis in the right knees, confirmed by x-rays in 2024, orthopedic visit. Boom, very specific, very clear statement, let them know, boom, cut and dry. Pro tip, update your diagnosis. Old MRIs doesn't win claims, fresh evidence does. For example, I have a buddy who has sleep apnea symptoms for years. This means like every time we were over to his house, his wife was always joking about how he was snoring. And when you see him, he's like always fatigued. But here's the problem, right? He had no study, no diagnosis, no ratings. Once I let him know, like, hey bro, what are you doing, man? Like, I can hear you snoring from my house and I live a block away, all jokes aside. Once he went and he got a private sleep study done and he filed that with his claim, he literally jumped 50% instantly, automatically, when he documented his sleep apnea. This is how important these things are, guys, So take it into consideration. So that was a lot of information, guys. And it even took me 2 days to shoot this video. That's why you guys see I have a different shirt. Yeah. Number 3, Nexus Letters. Literally the link. What this means, the Nexus ties your current diagnosis back to your service. Without your Nexus letter, the VA says it's not our fault. We have no evidence that your diagnosis or what you're dealing with occurred during your service. This is so important, guys. Do not skip out on the Nexus letter, right? So what is the law? The law is at least likely as not. This is important verbiage that when used in the Nexus letters ties and connects and create that link to your service and your diagnosis, which is very, very important. What is the rater looking for? The rater is looking for CMP exam opinions, private Nexus letters, presumptive conditions, PAC Act, toxic exposures, Agent Orange, the Gulf War, all of those, right? This is so important, guys. Do not skip out on this step. If you're filing a claim, whatever the claim might be, right? Like especially a secondary claim, don't even do it. Don't even submit it if you don't have a Nexus letter. And the beautiful thing about this is the VA Claim Made Easy app helps with all of that. All right, so for example, your migraines. If you have migraines, using the Nexus letters, you can link that to a blast exposures on deployment. If you're dealing with diabetes, if you've been diagnosed with diabetes, you can use your Nexus letters to link it to Agent Orange in Vietnam. Sleep apnea, secondary to PTSD or weight gain from service-connected injuries, and so on and so forth. So how do you prove it? You prove it by having the right verbiage in your Nexus letters. The key phrase to pay attention to here too, in the scenario of, like degenerative disc disease, is your Nexus letters. One is from a professional medical doctor or medical professional, and it has this key phrase in there. It is at least likely as not that the veteran's degenerative disc disease is due to repeated airborne jumps while in service. This would be fitting to me because I was airborne and I have a lot of jumps. So, what that means. Like, a lot of jumps, wear and tears on your back, shoulders, knees, everything hurts jumping out of planes. All right, let's continue. All right, pro tip here, guys. Your private Nexus letters don't guarantee a win, but when detailed and reasonable, the VA must weigh in them equally. Essentially, it just pushes the ladder so much farther in your favor than if you didn't have one. Number 2 is the severity and symptoms. What does this mean? The VA doesn't just ask, do you have it? They ask, how bad is it? Hopefully that makes sense. The VA is not trying to figure out if you have it or not. They're trying to figure out the impact on your day-to-day life that the condition is causing you. That's what you get compensated for. That's what I want you guys to understand. So the law behind this is ratings follows the schedule for rating disability. This is taken directly from 38 CFR Part 4. For example, in the scenario of your spine dealing with degenerative disc disease, you get 10% for flexions that are greater than 60 degrees, but less than 85 degrees. Or combined range of motion of 120 degrees, but less than 235 degrees. And you also have the painful motion rules that applies to this as well, meaning if you feel any kind of pain during the motion, you are automatically given 10% for that pain in any joints across your body, right? If you want more in-depth video on the painful motion rule, I've created a video, go take a look at that. Right? And it'll explain it more in depth. But essentially, that's how it is rated. If you want to get 20% rated, your flexion has to be greater than 30 degrees, but less than 60 degrees. If you want to get rated 40%, your flexion has to be less than or equal to 30 degrees or favorable ankylosis. Ankylosis is just a medical term for the fusion of bones or joints. For 50 to 100%, straight up unfavorable ankylosis will get you that in terms of, your spine or, degenerative disc disease. So other conditions such as migraines, it goes from 0, 10, 50%, depending on the frequency and severity. For sleep apnea, you get rated 0% if you're diagnosed but no symptoms, 30% if you have daytime hypersomnolence, which just means you're really, really tired throughout the day, you're fatigued, you're always you sit down and you just doze off. Yeah, if you have sleep apnea, this is literally me sitting down and I'm literally just gone. I'm on the phone, gone. Sometimes you're driving and you get to the red light, and as you're waiting for the red light to turn green, gone, right? If you're experiencing that, that's daytime hypersomnolence, meaning you're really tired and fatigued throughout the day because you're not getting enough sleep. You rated 30% for that. 50% is when you get CPAP issued to you. If you get that CPAP, you are automatically at 50%. 100% is chronic respiratory failure. This is really bad, guys. Pray to God no one is dealing with this, but if you are, you are going to get 100% automatically when it comes to sleep apnea. All right. Now let's talk about PTSD ratings, right? So for PTSD, and this is covered in 438 CFR 4.130. This is how you can go and educate yourself even more if you want to learn more about PTSD. So 0%, 10%, 30%, 50%, 70%, even 100% is based on occupational and social impairment. What does that mean? It means how you can convey to, like the examiner or the rater is how bad your PTSD affects your social life and your day-to-day life. Like if you're depressed due to PTSD and you spend days and days in bed, don't want to do anything, don't want to leave, don't even want to hang out with your family, convey that information to them, convey that message to them, right? And that's directly correlated to getting a higher rating because that's what the raters are looking for. So how do you prove it? Don't say back hurts. Say I can't bend to tie my boots. I can't sit for more than 15 to 20 minutes. I miss work during my flare-up and I can't lift my child. You gotta be more specific. You gotta show them the real life impact because when you do that, it paints the picture to the VA raters that you are human and you are struggling. Quick story. One of my buddies, I like to give you guys real life examples from people that I've helped, friends that, that I have, because all my friends are veterans, they're all dealing with the same stuff we all are. So I like to use the real life examples and stories so that you guys put it into practical knowledge, right? So yes, one of my buddies, he was suffering from migraines. He was getting these like twice a week, meaning like, and his was as bad as possible, meaning he couldn't even function when he was having his flare-up and episodes. But when he went to do his filing, he wrote bad headaches and got instantly denied. That makes no sense. Be very specific. If there's anything you guys take away from this video is when you're annotating your diagnosis or your symptoms, be as specific and quantify everything. Meaning like, let them know how it impacts your day-to-day living and the frequency and when it impacts, and then the results of that conditions on your life and your family. Because he got denied when he tracked down the frequency and the AR visits and resubmitted, because I told him, I was like, bro, you're crazy. The VA is very simple, right? You're undercomplicating your diagnosis and your conditions. You have to be specific. And we went through the process of getting him to file another claim. And when we annotated everything properly, he got 100% because he had a concrete evidence to show. So this is very important, right? If you're not gonna go in there and put forward the effort to actually tell your story, the VA is not gonna put forward an effort to actually compensate you for your sacrifice that you've made. All right, so what daily task has your disability taken from you? I want you guys to put that in the comment section. Let us know, because this is a crucial part. The number one thing that the VA rater looks for is consistency across evidence. Does everything that you've put and annotated correlate to your story? Why is this important? It's important because your evidence must line up across all the sources. The law states that the VA raters are trained under the M21-1 adjudications manuals to reconcile conflicting evidence, meaning they are looking for inconsistency. When they see inconsistency, that's how it's like a red flag in their head. Ding, 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 ding. This guy is lying, or girl, whoever you are. So you want everything to be aligned. Double check and make sure everything makes sense, everything is aligned, the timeline makes sense, and you can actually convey that story. What the VA is looking through is your service treatment records, your STRs, versus your VA records, your lay statements versus your CMP notes, your testimonies versus your medical report. They're gonna look at all of that when your packet goes up to them and they're sitting there and reviewing it. They're gonna be looking at all of those to make sure everything correlates and it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to them, you're cooked. Make sure you do your due diligence and everything lines up and it's convey your actual story. Because when it comes to the VA process, if you lose trust with them, you lose trust forever. So how do you prove it? If you go annotate and say you can't walk and you're having trouble pain walking, but then you go to the CMP exam and the CMP examiner sees you stroll in there, arms swinging, head high, doing backflips, kicking your knees, knee slappers, they're gonna annotate that. The veteran walks into the exam room normally, and that inconsistency is going to hurt you when your packet gets to that rater, all right? So show up to the CMP ready to perform, tell the truth, but be honest about what you're dealing with. And that's the number one thing the rater is gonna look for, guys. Here's a pro tip. Be the same soldiers on every page, honest, consistent, and straightforward. And that's gonna lead you to getting that 100% PNT. So everything that I just stated is all theories. How can you actually apply this properly? What I'm gonna do is give you the checklist, because talking about it means absolutely nothing. Implementing it is where the sauce is at. Here's your checklist. Number 1, VA Form 214138, your structure statement. Make sure you have that. VA Form 2110-210, your buddy and lay statement, your buddy statement. Make sure you have that. Service treatment records, proof of in-service events, DD-214. Make sure that is annotated. Make sure you have that. Don't even submit a packet if you don't have a DD-214. Come on, guys. This is like basic stuff. Your current diagnosis report. Frequency helps you in this process. Go and get that medical diagnosis. Go and get treatment. They want to see that you're still actively going to the hospital or clinic and you're working on the condition. That's number 4. Number 5 is your Nexus Letters. This is the link that connects whatever you have filed for or cleaned to your service. You're gonna need this. You need a Nexus Letters. Number 6 is your symptom statement, your daily life impact. Make sure you have that day to day with you in your packet so they can know, like how it's affecting your life. Number 7, supporting research based on your MOS risk, medical journals, like let them know, like for me, I'm a combat engineer, migraines, hearing loss, that correlates with me working on explosive field problems. All of those things affected me drastically. But again, if I can prove that and annotate that, it means no sense, right? Medical journals is when you document like your flare-ups, like what's going on. Organize it, label it. Don't just dump papers. Hand the examiner all of these things. Put it in your package so when it makes it up to the raters, they have concrete evidence of what you've been dealing with, what you're experiencing, and they can literally paint that picture because that packet is a representation of you. The raters don't know who you are, nor do they care. They got to do their job. And you do your job by sending them the right information. This is a lot, and that's why most vets loses their clean. Not because they don't deserve it, but because they don't know how to organize everything. This is why we built the VA Clean Made Easy app. It's like TurboTax, but for VA Cleans. It's gonna do all of that, create a packet for you and give it to you so it's organized when you show up and you don't have to be running all over the place dealing with the complexity of organizing all your evidence. The app is gonna take care of all of that for you. So click the link in the description, join our waitlist. We're gonna be launching pretty soon. And when we launch, you'll be one of the first individuals to get access to the VA Cleans Made Easy app. By a veteran, for veterans. You know how this goes. Let's recap. What is the VA raters looking for when they are rating you? The number 1 thing they look for is your service connection, right? Number 2 is your current diagnosis. Number 3 is, have a Nexus letter, fizz off the doubts. Number 4 is your severity and the symptoms. And number 5 is the consistency throughout everything, all your evidence and everything that's put together. That's the checklist. Understand it and you control your outcome. Don't do it and you leave the VA rater to decide your fate, which means you're cooked. So In the comment section, I want you guys to leave which one of these 5 tips helped you out the most. If it provided you with value, share this video with a veteran that you know is going to provide the same amount of value, if not more too as well. With that being said, guys, my name is Reuben. I am the CEO of VA Cleans Made Easy. I hope I was able to help you along your way with this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Don't forget to check out these other videos as well too, man. It's going to bring you a lot of value. Peace.